of sight underground.
There's a tunnel going down here, but there's another one up above. So basically, it's a whole labyrinth of connections, each one leading to another church. Whoa, there's about 150 bats in this little place. Oh man, we gotta go down there. Oh, it's just too cool. You wanna just squeeze the camera through and I'll just help you get it through here? I got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah. You see this? It's bat hell. So, look at this round room in here with a single pillar in the middle. I'm a little freaked out by this bat thing, to tell the truth. That door is blocked off now, but that goes through to the Church of Golgotha. You gotta wonder why it was so important to this culture to be underground. I mean, on one hand, it was a practicality because they had so much of this good rock to work with. They could carve an entire complex. They never needed any trees, perfect. But there had to have been another advantage.
We know the role that faith played in building Lalibela, but the rest remains a mystery.
Check it out.
Coming up, an ancient church or a super fortress.
And that could have been a water supply for a siege.
Yes.
And later, a lost kingdom may hold a priceless treasure.
Why did the Templars come here?
Search for the Holy Grail and for the Ark of the Covenant.
According to legend, 800 years ago, King Lalibela had 11 churches carved out of solid rock here in northern Ethiopia. Conceived as a new Jerusalem, the elaborate churches have been sacred pilgrimage sites for nearly 1,000 years. But a leading expert on Lalibela believes they may have served another, darker purpose.
Now, remember, the churches of Lalibela are arranged in different clusters. Those down in that area are more for typical religious purposes. But these over here, closer to us, these look a lot more like fortresses.
The vast church complexes in Lalibela were built in 3 distinct sections. The areas I had already seen with Lalibela expert Fukru were clearly designed and built as places of worship. But it seems as if some of the 4 churches at the southeast end of the complex were built centuries earlier, not to welcome pilgrims, but to withstand a siege. One of the clues is a tunnel system that connects the southeast cluster to the rest of the complex.
Look at this tunnel going straight down here. There's a debate whether this is military or not up here, but it sure has the look of it. How long is this tunnel?
It's about 55 meters.
55 meters, over 150 feet.
Yeah.
And connecting through to here.
To this one.
Yeah. In ancient times, I mean, these underground passages provided a perfect defense because if you were being attacked, the army attacking you would have to come in single file. So it would break down the attacker to one man at a time. Much easier to defend.
The long tunnel system in the southeast cluster leads to the Gabriel and Raphael churches, which are completely surrounded by a hand-carved trench ranging from 15 to over 50 feet deep.
So this looks like a defensive wall. I mean, this is carved out, right?
And this goes all the way to the other side too.
And this waterway here would have been like a moat.
Yeah, this is like a moat, or you can say like drainage. Which flows all the way down. You can...
Yeah, perfect defense posture here.
In the 12th century, when King Lalibela built his New Jerusalem in the remote mountains of Ethiopia, his Zagwe kingdom was relatively isolated from the turmoil gripping the Holy Land of Jerusalem, 1,400 miles north. But 500 years earlier, in the 7th century, Arab armies were on the march to the north, and internal strife was crumbling the once great Aksumite Empire who ruled here. And it seems as if some parts of the southeast cluster were built in that turbulent time.
This looks like a drawbridge.
So far, I mean, the main access or entrance of the church has not been discovered yet. So this is only access that we have to go in.
Like a medieval castle, this church only has one way in, a bridge 50 feet up, another clue pointing to military origins. And like a fortress prepared for a long siege, it may also have had its own water supply.
My lord, how deep is this thing?
That's really very deep. Even has got, like water cistern underneath.
Yeah, that's what that is?
In the rainy season, this cistern could collect enough water to last the people here for months.
If this was as much a fortress as a church, then that could have been a water supply for a siege.
Yes, it could be for the church or for fortification. So we don't know exactly what it was.
But it's totally unique. Other churches don't have
Different
this
from
kind
the others. So what we have from the other church is just holy water, not like as water cistern in here.
Makes you wonder, huh?
Today, the only access to the cistern is 50 feet below the churches, in one of the numerous water channels that snake through the entire site.
Ah, this is so cool. All right, so keep in mind, this is the dry season we're in here. Rainy season, we can't walk through here. This would be all full of water.
Most of the year, this is an arid region, where water can be more precious than gold. But in the rainy season, sudden storms could wreak havoc with flooding. So building a massive hydro-engineering system that could move floodwaters out while collecting some of the life-giving water made Lalibella's isolated existence possible. The complex collects and stores huge reserves of both rain and artesian spring water. And if the people here were afraid of attack from outsiders or infidels, an enormous reservoir of water would be essential.
All right. Wow. Look at this church. Incredible. Now, who knows really what they were using this for? I mean, these could be defensive walls for military use, but this is the cistern. Now, this is completely unique in Lalibela. From what Fukru tells me, this entire floor here is all a cistern space. Beneath it is almost 30 feet across. Check it out. See, that's me right there. Hello. So this is going underwater, and we're going to see if we can look at the underwater of the underworld. There she goes. Oh yeah, that's cool. I mean, all of this is filled with fresh water, and we're in the dry season. And you could enable a whole population of people, maybe even soldiers, maybe a defending army who is being besieged inside of this church/fortress. This is the water that would keep them alive.
These channels still work, collecting and distributing water. But we may never know if they were intended for irrigation or defense against some long-vanished threat.
Check it out. Look at this. All these strange spaces. This is a river channel, also hand-carved, rock-hewn. Right down here would have steered all this rainwater right through this channel and down to the River Jordan. Everything seems to be speculation in this place, because the records are gone, rock can't be carbon dated, no one knows. I mean, Lalibela, still a total mystery.
Up next, a mysterious connection to the Knights Templar.
It does look like a Templar cross.
And later, a gruesome shrine.
Skull, 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 the teeth.
In the time of Jesus Christ, while the Roman Empire was spreading across the world, there was another mighty empire on the rise, the Axumites of Ethiopia. I'm heading to a mountainous region, more than 300 miles north of Addis, to the city of Axum. Now a small farming town, it was once the rich capital city of a mighty empire that dominated much of northeastern Africa for 600 years. Tradition has it that the Axumite kings traced their lineage back to King Solomon, and even claimed that his son brought the Ark of the Covenant, at the time a Jewish relic believed to have mysterious powers, to Ethiopia in the 10th century BC. The Axumites linked to King Solomon, as evidenced by their exclusive claim to the Ark of the Covenant, did two important things. One, it helped give their kings legitimacy to the throne. And two, it helped create an entirely singular, unique brand of Christianity. Now, some of the only clues left of this one-time world power are located right across the street.
in a field of obelisks, and inside the mysterious tomb